Hello everyone, Krydex here. Welcome back to our Nullius playthrough. In our last episode we got worms going and have settled a decent amount of land down here with grass and dirt and water and algae and worms. Soon to be fish and trees, hopefully. You know, I could probably do... upgrading all of these with productivity. That feels expensive, but maybe like a good idea. So I did finish a research. I'm trying to remember which one it was. I think it might have been the botany one that I had started at the end of the last episode. Probably. And then I also started on like robotics 4, and now we're working on robot logistics 4, robot construction 4, because these will all be necessary for the later bio researches anyway, and we need these probes as well to win, because this represents launching basically another copy of myself to new planets to do what I've done. So it's kind of like replicating across the universe. So we're going to have to do this research eventually, which is 100,000 astronomical data, which is a lot. And these are 50K. This one's actually 120K. And then that's actually it in terms of astroscience other than this one. So we're going to need another 220, 270, about 300,000 astro data. And when accounted for productivity, that's going to be more like 240,000, something like that. I do think I want to upgrade all these buildings with productivity here. This is going to be pretty expensive, but I think my base can handle it. So we're going to do this. We're going to do these. We're going to do these. We're going to do these. All this stuff. These buildings. This entire column. Okay. So I think that's everything. Oh, and science. How has science not been hit up yet with all these? I really need to put the new prod modules in a lot of things, apparently. There we go. That's better. And then we also want to hit up all the chest makers, because those are used in a lot of things. I don't use underground pipes in quite enough things for that to matter. And then just make sure all of our modules are upgraded. I think I did this already. Looks like I did. Okay. Rocket fuel, not yet. Okay. So, yield 4. It looks like we are out of yield. No, we're not out of yield 4s. They're just unstacking. What's up, Dave? Welcome on in. How you doing? I guess we should request 200 of these, so we can stack them up more quickly. Because we have a ton of them now. Because we just got a ton replaced. But I think we're good. We've got 100 yield module 4s back already, so... Thanks! I'm doing quite well. It's a new year, which is crazy, but here we are. So I do think I need these to craft a little bit faster. All put together, they're doing 3 rocket launches a minute, which is only 150... gosh, that's so loud. I think that's 150 boxes a minute, which is 750... It is 50, right? I'm not making that up. Yeah. So 50 boxes... 750, yeah, 750 minutes. That's a little over 10 a second. So later, if I'm trying to do the probe research, 10 a second is going to take 3 hours for this research, which might be a little bit longer than I want. So I think I'm going to copy. Yeah, we still have some vertical space here. So I'm just going to copy this. And I think 2 more is actually what I want. Two more silos launching rockets. Hopefully that's good enough. And let's see. It looks like we finished the botany research. And yeah, I figured I'd wait on the fish research because I have enough time to work on trees before I make fish. So that's good. It looks like I'm short on worms, so let's figure out what that's all about. Oh, these are also needing astronomical data to make like worm genomes and stuff. Okay, so bacteria is looking good. Algae is looking good. Grass is looking good. So what's going on with worms? Okay, so I'm out of worms, and I'm not getting rid of worm eggs. I guess I just never set that up. I thought I had. Did I not? I guess I didn't. I set up worm recycling when the eggs are low and the worms are high. Then we recycle worms that way. This one, what's the condition here? There just is none? This is just the main way I was making amino acids, I guess. But these need to say only if worms are at least 100. Like, we never want to... Well, does that matter? Because that would mean I'd give it to science first, which actually is something I don't want. Because we don't need worms to make worms, so it's actually okay if we run out of worms. It's just we'd never want to run out of eggs. So I guess I do need, then, an egg recycler. And we decided the best way to use worm eggs was to make nucleotides. So that's in distilleries as well. And probably one. I assume this works quickly. Yeah, that can handle almost 10 eggs a second. So that's plenty. Can always add in another little beacon. Well, yeah, it's fine. Okay. And then we need saline water. This is already saline water. So then we want worm eggs. 100. This guy will only run if worm eggs are greater than 900. Right? Huh. Because this is going to run if the eggs are less than 1,000. So maybe here I should say greater than 1,100. So that really only gets rid of eggs if we're just maxing out on them. Which, how much does this hold? Yeah, 1,500. Okay. So then... So that'll craft amino acids. We actually want to connect. Although, this is kind of strange. We want this to be like a top-up. So I'm going to move these back, actually. Because we want this to top up into this. So we want to make sure we always use up these amino acids first. And I doubt those are ever going to create hundreds and hundreds of all the amino acids we need, so I think that'll be okay. And then wastewater will just outfall right here, and then nucleotides I will actively barrel because I'm gonna need plenty of nucleotides from other places anyway. So nucleotides, fill, active. So that's just a way to get some easy nucleotides right there and get rid of some worm eggs. And it's possible I should make a little tank here, but I think we'll be okay. Surely worm eggs alone are not going to be enough amino acids for the entire game. I would doubt that. How many nucleotides am I using? That's probably worth looking at. Nucleotide consumption. Yeah, I mean, we're using 10 a second, roughly. Or something like that. Although, does this track barreling as usage? I can never remember that, because this has the look of, like, barreling is actually using. These numbers are too equal. Because I have nucleotides barrels, so we're not actually going to be consuming tons right now. What even do I use nucleotides for? Genomes, biochemistry samples, and more genomes. Okay. And then later there's a way to turn them back into amino acids and methane, so it's kind of a nucleotides recycling if you had too many, I guess. But these, I just want to make sure this is all working the way I want it to. These are currently barreling. And they're also, okay, yeah, here's where we actually don't want it to be connected. Because now we have nucleotides coming from a different source. So here we need nucleotides unbarreling. Like that. So this way we'll always use the nucleotides from the worm eggs first. Okay, cool. So that's done. So all sorts of stuff in my inventory I don't need, but I don't even use my inventory all that much anymore. Just to build buildings, I guess. So I think grass is happy. Cellulose is happy. Sugar's happy. Fertilizer. Everything's good to go. So let's see, how's our robot logistics science working? It looks like astroscience is still the hang up for sure. There is an item ingredient shortage. Can't quite tell what it is just by looking. What is the shortage? Heat pipe 3s, actually. And I wonder if that's actually a crafting speed issue rather than a throughput issue. Because I think I only have one. Oh, it's helium. Okay. So helium is the hang up right now. I did put the new productivity guys on helium. There's no other way to make helium, right? Yeah, trace gas is it. So that's the only option we have for helium. I could copy this. It's probably worth doing. Yeah, I'm trying to think. So those make 505 residual gas. These don't use 505 residual gas, so the issue is speed. And And I did put the new speed modules. So that actually means I can just copy this part. And let's just line it up right there. Get rid of those and this. Okay. And then we don't need the belts. Those were for something else. And then we do need one of those turbines. Connected to the steam there. And then finally, we do want residual gas connected. So then here, residual gas, like so, and then so. I think that should do it. And that'll give me another 20 helium a second, hopefully. Oh, and we need a roboport down here too, it looks like. And some lights. Come on, Cardax, what are you doing? Can't see a thing. I really just need to light up a lot of my base. Okay, sweet. Looks like they're all running. Was this unnecessarily copied? It sure was. These are not needed. Okay. So there we go. There's some more helium. Hopefully that helps. Hopefully enough residual gas. Looks like these are all full. I think I might, I guess I still don't need to run down there. It feels so weird building from map view, but it works fine. I want a little tank. Never know which ways are connected on this. I guess like that. I can't even tell if that's connected. I do get a little frustrated with the small tanks for that reason. I think that one. Excuse me. Is connected on the top here. Which I actually need space for a pump. Okay, so... Well, of course I can't reach. Pump. And then we'll have to deconstruct that. That. And that. Copy that. Deconstruct this. And put that there. Okay, that way I can keep an eye on just making sure we have enough residual gas. What are the odds power isn't right there? What are the odds? Ah, gotta drink coffee. Okay, taking forever. Mr. Bot. There it is. Okay, so we'll see if this builds up. It'll take a second, because these are all going to be running, but... So that one is filling up, which means eventually this one will fill up. So that's good. I think this is stealing most of it. But once that caps out, which it's almost there. Okay, so that one's full. So hopefully, yeah, now this one's getting full. Sweet. All right, there we go. That's all I'm gonna do to fix the helium problem right now. We can always copy that later even more if we need to. It does look like carbon fibers maybe not doing okay, or it's close to doing okay. Can never really tell. But let's work on trees. I'll ignore the rest of the base for a minute here. Just check if we have tons of helium. Is this fast enough? 1 per second. 1 heat pipe box, 3 per second. Yeah, it's probably close enough. Those use about 1 per second. So 50 compressed helium per second is what I need for that, which is about what we have, so okay. I think we're probably okay on that for the time being. So, on to trees. We have worms, we need trees. Okay. So I need 4 more for tree genome. And we'll see what's actually required in the tree genome. So, of course, it's grass. Oh, no, it's not worm. I thought it was going to be worm. So it's a separate split from grass because worm used algae, grass used algae. Oh, so worm is actually kind of the split from algae as well. So worm and grass are kind of parallel. Yeah. So then tree is 1 further and requires grass genome and nucleotides and all the other same things. Doesn't require bacteria, so I can not connect to that. And unfortunately does require astroscience, which I don't have. But yeah, we'll do 4 of those. And that'll start working eventually. Yep, there we go. There's some astroscience. Okay, so tree genomes are good. Then we need tree progenitors, which this is my progenitor column. Let's get rid of some rocks here. Okay, so what the heck is required in a tree progenitor? Rubber, sugar, cellulose, genome, protocell, amino acids, oil. Well, really the only thing that's costly in all of that is the tree genome. The rest of it we've got in spades. Because now amino acids and cellulose are both, or protocells are both very cheap. So, and it's all the same 4 hookups, so I can actually just copy this and change the box and the recipe. And we also need some more beacons stuff going on here. We need more power. We need a robo port. Okay. Yeah, and I think I've just been doing 1 click on these. 2, 3, 4. So let's see, worm progenitors are about 0.16 per second. That would give me 0.11, so let's do 1 more. 0.127. Still feels low. Oh, it's because those didn't have their modules yet. 0.143. That's better. All right. That'll do it. Okay, so tree progenitors are rolling. And now we need tree making. Also, I haven't looked in a while. It's probably worth checking how nuclear power is doing. Are these all nice and hot? Looks like it. Reactors are all running. Those are running. Those are running. It looks like they've synced up. They're all very close in terms of temperature. Check on... Yep, nuclear fuel looks good. Spent fuel cells. All looks good to me. And we're using 5 gigawatts. So at some point we might need another one, but not yet. Okay, so trees. So trees are made from... Oh, crap. Landfill tan, which I don't know if I've automated. Fertilizer, tree seeds, and worms. Okay, so worms are actually a cost in trees. And just to remind myself, worms cost grass. But grass is pretty much free, except for landfill, but it's a pretty small landfill cost. And sludge is not free. So worms cost sludge. That's the important part. And therefore, trees cost sludge. Oh, interesting. But we get sludge back. And 100 sludge is enough to make 2 worms. Yeah, weird kind of tree which requires worms. Exactly. Maybe the worms, you know, help. If you think about, like, earthworms, you know, they, like, help the soil kind of process because trees need the nutrients that the things in the ground create. So this actually gets us sludge, which is very nice. And fertilizer, can't talk. Fertilizer requires some sludge too, which we get back. So really the only cost to trees is the tan landfill, which again, I can make it with just sand and gravel, or I can make it with concrete. And the concrete one... I just don't know if I should be using reinforced concrete. Because this one requires more items total. You know, that's 10 and 10 to make 20. This is 12 to make 4. So it's 3 times as many, like, physical items, but I don't really seem to care that much because concrete is way more expensive than gravel. And sand, I can just get more sand with 1 processing step. So there's a big part of me that really wants to make this recipe. It'll strain my bots a little bit more, but then I don't have to worry about concrete. And I probably should have done that with the other recipes too, but here we are. So let's just set up a couple landfill makers here. Landfill tan. I think I do want this recipe. Holy crap. That can make roughly infinity per second. So we don't need 3 of them. That one alone can make 40 per second. And it's the non-boxed version, so we can just settle for this. And we'll just go for a full 1500 sand. Okay, and then that stacks to 500, so I'm only gonna do 2 stacks, maybe 3. Oh look, monocrystalline silicon is very low. Surprise of the century right there. Man, this research is taking forever. I assume it really is still the heat pipes. Those are the primary hang-up. And it does look like that's the case. Item ingredient shortage. Yeah. Which is crazy. And is helium still the hang-up? Guess it is. But that says it only needs 50 per second. I thought we'd be producing 50 per second by now. Maybe we are, and we're just needing helium for other stuff too. Helium, pressed. Let's see, 50 a second. What would 5 a second be? 5 a second would be 300, so 50 a second would be 3K. So yeah, we're very close to that, plus some other things use a small amount of helium, like Stirling engines and other things, which I don't know if Stirling engines end up being a part of a rocket launch or not. So in any case, we can make trees. That's the important part. We'll just let the astroscience work its way through. So trees. We should be good to make now. Those are made in hydro plants. And tree seeds. Ooh, latex. That's interesting. Okay, so here we go. Tree seeds are made from trees. Classic. And then without an option, we get some sludge back from that. So we get quite a bit of sludge. I guess the only thing, we don't get sludge back when we do this. Also, wood boxes are needed along with it, and wood boxes come from trees in the first place. Very interesting. So, and we get rubber from trees, which is super cool. Trying to think through all the priorities we're gonna need for all that stuff, but for now, let's start with this. So tree, I don't know how many we're gonna need. I'll just start with 5 to make it simple. And first one will be the one that uses progenitors. And the progenitor one doesn't require worms, which is a little different, but we're gonna need output connections, input connections. Productivity. Might as well space these out a bit more. Okay. Wow. Oh, you're right. I did switch recipes. Thank you. I was like, why are these even slower than they were before? I just added more beacons. Okay, that's more what I expected. Thank you. Okay, so we need fresh water and air in... Are these going to be like stupid huge amounts? Yeah, the air's pretty huge. Fresh water is not as huge. So fresh water, I can just have a couple pumps down here. What was that? Oh, just a random connection. Okay, so that'll go up, connect to here. So there's fresh water, and then air is one of those things I might need a couple different spots. Kind of feeding air in. What's that? 4912, so some speed should fix that. Okay, so there's air. And there we go. There's some trees. Now, all together, we're going to get quite a bit of oxygen out. Again, Not too worried about barreling that up, but the sludge is important. So we'll bring that down here. And barrel up sludge, which that's already selected, so how perfect. And we'll just put a little pump there, make that simpler. Okay, now trees, we need to create tree seeds. I'll do that over here. I'm going to leave this middle spot open. I use this bottom area for the seed making. I think that was in crushers as well. I'm just assuming. Yes. Wood pulping. Oh, you can turn wood into cellulose just straight up. Interesting. So that's, I guess, how you can get rid of too much of it. Oh, wood burning. There you go. You actually get quite a bit of power from that. Not that power really matters. But yeah, it's these things that I actually might want to do. Because wood can be used to make power poles. So if we like compare the recipes, I guess it's slower. Significantly slower. Because we get 2 power pole ones either way. And insulated wire is actually pretty cheap, but so is aluminum wire, so I don't know which one of those is actually cheaper. But wood instead of steel rod is nice. So that's one option for wood. And then also power pole 2s. So this switches to needing... So it goes from making 1 to 3, which is a huge difference. So we save on power pole 1s. We go from needing 2 insulated wire to needing 4, so we save a little bit of insulated wire. And the rate is slightly faster, 15 in 25 instead of 45. So it's actually almost twice as fast. But then we need some epoxy. And I'm actually not sure if that's even worth it. Because epoxy is expensive. I mean, how many power pole 2s do I even use, though? Power pole. I mean, power pole 2, we use an average of 11 a minute. Oh, very, very little. Somewhere around, yeah, 8 to 12 a minute. So that amount of epoxy would be basically 0. Power pole 2. Yeah, so that's like 20 epoxy a minute. And then I think wood can do rails as well. Yep. And walls. So the rail recipe, we get double. We use less steel, less gravel, and 0 plastic and epoxy instead. So that one could be it, but again, how much rail do I use? None. Literally none. They're not even part of the chains of production. So, they are called rails, right? Yeah. So, literally don't have to worry about that. Okay, how do I get tree seeds? Got distracted. Oh, it's just in the wood box recipe right there. There we go. Okay. Alright, I can handle 12 trees a second. That's probably about right. Now these are the ones that are in order to make tree seeds. So I always want these running. Always, always, always. And I need to actually output this onto a little belt here. I think I like the belt version better because this is far more likely that this is going to empty out by itself and then it's going to end up not filling up. I just want to fill a bigger chest with it. But yeah, I like this better. Hook up all the outputs. Okay, so then tree seeds are going to be here. And there's 3 physical outputs plus sludge. Now the sludge, we can actually connect up to the same active barreling. And then we've got 3 outputs to deal with. So then seeds left, tree seed, and then what's the other one? Cellulose box and wood box. So I guess cellulose box will go out. And that one, I think we want... Yeah, we'll have to figure this out. But for now, we'll do it this way. Because I need seeds to always be maxed. I think is the way I want to do it. And then we need a requester with tree seeds now. So how many? That's 4. Each recipe takes 50. So what do we need? 130 seeds a minute. That has a request for 135. There we go. Okay, 1 minute of requests. Landfill will take a second to get here, so that works. How are my bots doing, by the way? It's been a while since I've looked at those. We're using about 5,000. So the only reason I'll ever upgrade to tier 4 bots is just to reduce the delay, I think. Because the tier 3 bots are working great. Gosh, this astroscience. I need more helium. I need this whole setup to be something I make like a bunch more of. Yeah, we're just gonna, let's see. We're gonna make 2 of these. And then we're gonna copy the, whatever this is called, maker, compressed, trace gas, residual gas, I can't remember what they're all called. Copy that to, we'll have to hook those up. And then, more. So we'll check on that in a minute, but I just need more helium. Okay, so oxygen. How much oxygen are we talking? 4 chimneys worth, at least. Alright, there we go. Trees are running. Oh, and then we'll need to set up tree cannons, which seems really fun. But I'll let this one run a little bit by itself. Oh, hold on. We also need to switch this out. So I guess I'll let the 2 of those run for a second. And... oh. You know what? I think I did have landfill tan automated, because that's the one... oh, interesting. I'm also out of those top-up and overflow valves, because I never... when I tore down the very old base, I never added more, and it looks like they lasted me up until just now. Well, that's a very easy thing to automate. Real quick. There they are. Adjustable relief valve. Adjustable top-up valve. So that's done. Yeah. And then let's go just walk down there to get all the helium working properly. And the reason I'm not hooking this new build up, I can just jetpack. I keep forgetting about jetpacks. It's way simpler. I don't get stuck on anything. The reason I'm not hooking this up to the other residual gas network is because I feel like I'm already siphoning enough off of it. So then this will keep me from requiring more. And I want to leave a little bit of space here. Okay. Okay, so these can make 600 residual gas a second, potentially, if they have enough air. Which they probably do. I don't know, 520. They need an input. Wait, what is happening here? Oh, right, it recycles the compressed air. Oh, yeah, 9,000 a second, though. They're not going to get that much. So we'll see what this actually boils down to, but all that will output on this level. And then that'll hook over to these guys. And did I line these up properly? I did not. I missed it by one. Which doesn't really matter all that much, I guess. But we connect these. And that gets us... Now, these ones I should replace with that kind of module. And ironically, I now have plenty more methanol. That was not intentional. It's kind of hilarious, though. Oh, and I didn't hook up the output. Well, since it's here, we might as well. Methanol barreling fill. Really funny, actually. Which means I probably copied it twice. Yep. Crap. Well, now I've got plenty of methanol. Never have to worry about that again. And, yeah, those will fill up just fine. Okay. Helium is the main thing, which I didn't copy beacons correctly, did I? So we need... Definitely need a big beacon there. That's better. Okay, so that's how we want that to look. Okay. So... That's still not full. So the issue here is the output air actually isn't being recycled fast enough. So given that these aren't filling up, I guess more yield is appreciated. And yeah, I really screwed up the spacing and the beacons here. So that may not work. Because if I slow it down too much, we maybe can't use... Let's just try this and see what happens. So that altogether can use 208. Maybe that's fine. And then... Okay, here we have enough space. Okay, is that filling up? 12K. Looks like it might be. At least that way we're more productive. These are fully productive. So, yeah, that's about the best I can do. And then, is there a way I can make this better? Not easily. The way I did this doesn't really leave extra room. At least get one more there. It's strange. It's almost like I need some productivity modules just to get more residual gas per air because of flow rate. But I don't think that's actually what I want to do. Okay, so that is filling up. So I guess that helps the helium a little bit. Yeah, that's almost full. 19K. And then almost there. Come on. 20K. Well, it's rounding to 20K now. So yeah, then once that's full, we should see more of these fire up. There it goes. Nice. Alright, well, what's our helium at now? Because really what I need is more of these little chunks. I guess, oh yeah, I made these like individual cells. So I could copy, here, let's copy a few more, because clearly I don't have quite enough residual gas here. So let's do like 2 more of these up here. And then the residual gas will connect here. Where are the bots? Where's the wave? Here they come. They're pretty dang fast. Look at that. Alright. So there we go. There's some more residual gas. Somehow isn't connected. That's not the case with these, is it? No, it just didn't get copied. Okay. Alright, so there we go. There's a little bit more residual gas. So let's see how many are running now. Okay, those are still all running, as we expected. And then these are now like 3 or 4. Really, even with the 2 more? There was already 1 running without the 2 new ones. Oh, the rate's a little too slow because I don't have any. It's probably the beacons. I think that'll boost it up a little bit. Yeah, compressed air. If I do that. So I thought that would have enabled a few more of these. Oh, these have more speed beacons in the first place. That's part of it. So these altogether could take like 400. And produce how much? 19 only? Gosh. Helium is so expensive. This is insane. If only I had known. Oh my gosh. Yeah, so we're just gonna copy this again. And move that for a second. And we're gonna do... I'll leave 3 spaces, but we're gonna do 2 more. Yeah, I think that's gonna help us out here. What do you mean beacon interference is annoying? There's no beacons. Okay, and then that's gonna make residual gas right here, and this one is gonna make residual gas. Oh, of course, that's just perfectly lined up, isn't it? There are 4 ways, I just never built any, so we'll do that. Okay. So that should get me maybe enough for everything to run. Maybe not. Either way, I can add some more beacons here. So that's 224, and that would get it to, yeah, 305. So I can easily speed this up if we have too much residual gas. These are, I really need 2 of these, the way this is set up now. Guess I could actually make that happen, at least for this one. Here, let's make that happen. So then, do another air filter. Let's see. Can we do this twice? Copy, paste. Power, beacon, speed. There we go. Works a little better, I think. Oh, didn't hook that up. There we go. Okay. Hey, look, most of these are running now. Alright, let's check out our helium production, and then I think we probably need to be done with the YouTube recording for this episode. Oh, fluids, right. That's how that works. Helium, compressed helium. So, in the last 10 hours, we pretty much were settled on 1.9K a minute. Was, yeah, pretty solid for a very, very long time. And so now it looks like we are settling down around 3.7K, 3.6K a minute, which is a lot better. It's about double. So that's good. Let's go make sure... Oh my gosh, all this methanol, so funny. Well, I for sure have enough methanol, right? Yes. Oh, crap. I even set up tube. Oh my gosh. I just didn't realize the barreling was on the top. So now I have thousands of methanol barrels I'm never going to use. Cool. So now heat pipe 3s, maybe have enough helium. Because I'm making more than 50 a second now. So unless the other things that require helium are using a bunch, we should actually need another heat pipe 3 crafting. Yeah, this is running full-time now. This actually needs to request more, it looks like. So we'll go up to 200 barrels, and then it's kind of unfortunate where I set this up. Let's do 2 foundries here, heat pipe 3. We'll do 2 more. And then this is also helium, right? Yeah. Then we'll hook this into that pipe, and we'll bump up the request up to like 300 to accommodate full productivity. And then there's 2 of them running, so we'll hook up quite a few. Okay. So there's some more heat pipe 3s. That's probably more than I'll ever use, another 2 per second. Alright. Well, I know we didn't get any of the tree stuff actually planted, but hopefully we have enough helium, and the trees will get us a bunch of oxygen as well, I'm sure, so I don't know if I have to worry too much about the oxygen percentage. If I get the other things done, they'll probably just work. And it looks like tree seeds have built up quite nicely. And trees themselves, I'm capped out on sludge. How is that possible? What is going on here? Oh, I just never did active providing on that. That's the problem there. Whoopsies. Okay, so that should work. And then I never copied the inputs here. Okay. So there you have it. So trees are good to go. So I'll call it a YouTube video there. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what you think in the comments, and I will see you all next time.